Fox News is going to require all of its employees to get at least one dose of the vaccine. They are removing their testing option. It used to be that at Fox News, if you wanted to work there, you had to get tested regularly or have the vaccine. Now, because of Mayor Bill de Blasio's mandate in New York City, Fox News is going to require people to get the vaccine. So let me just say this. You know who's cool? The Daily Wire, that's who's cool. You know who's not cool? Fox News, that's who's not cool. The Daily Wire has repeatedly said they will not comply. And for the time being, I think they're one of the lead plaintiffs in a lawsuit, but they've basically won for the most part. War is still ongoing. Ben Shapiro, I believe his Twitter profile picture is still do not comply. They've outright said they will risk the fines, but they will not mandate vaccines. Fox News doesn't care. Fox News is just demand driven, which is why they play it safe. They try to give you that milquetoast conservative narrative. They try to present some kind of opposition, but they won't actually stand for principle. Well, look, I'll tell you this. The Daily Wire, they're the real deal. No joke. And we here at Timcast, we may have fairly moderate political positions, but also I ain't playing any of these games. There will never be a mandate here at my company. I'm not going to pretend that we've got 1 million employees or 200 employees. We have like 31 or 2 now because we're growing and things are going pretty well for us. But I would never mandate a medical procedure. I'm not going to put myself in the precarious legal position of choosing to be in violation of the ADA or some stupid decree from a president or despot. The mayor, the governor, whatever. They can come out and they can say whatever they want. And I'm going to be like, you will not pit me against the Americans with Disabilities Act. I am not going to be prying in people's medical histories, nor am I going to be requiring them to disclose their medical histories in exchange for working here. Because you know what? Sooner or later, someone's going to sue. But more importantly, I think this is wrong. I think it's wrong. Fox News, however, they're losers. Here we go. From New York Times. Fox tightens its vaccine rule, removing a test out option for New York City office workers. They report Fox Corporation, the owner of Fox News, told employees on Friday that those working in New York City would have to show proof they've had at least one dose of the COVID vaccine by December 27th. Oh, please, please. Everyone who works there, please mass quit. Stand up for yourselves. Tell Fox News to screw off. And in fact, you don't even need to quit. I'll tell you this. Every single one of you who works there need only write a letter saying, this is my notice. If this mandate is in place, come December 27th, I will have formally resigned. Every single one of you who works at Fox News do this. And I tell you this, they will say, okay, we won't implement this mandate. They won't do it. Fox News can choose to shut down or they can choose to back down. But the question is whether or not the people at Fox News who work there will actually stand up for themselves. You know, I got to say, I don't think they will. But it's going to be real interesting to see how the hosts handle this. It'll be real interesting because we've got some statements from these hosts. I don't know which of the Fox News hosts are or are not vaccinated, but I will say one thing. I don't care if you want to get the vaccine. I think that's entirely your choice, and it needs to be that choice needs to be made with guidance from a trusted medical professional. Going to a doctor, there are many doctors, many of varying opinions, but you get your advice from them. And that means there's probably a lot of people at Fox who are already vaccinated because they chose to be, because they went and talked to doctors. I got no issue with that. I really don't care. I can't stand people arguing the science around, medical research and stuff because, bro, I'm not going to be able to actually tell you about the process by which they made the smallpox vaccine or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what a lot of these medications are. What I do know is there's a big political fight. There's political tribalism. There's the frontline doctors who disagree with what Dr. Fauci is saying, and there's conflict in these regards, but they also agree on some things like they're for masks. And so it really just comes down to, you got to talk to somebody that you believe in. And I don't know who that's going to be. That's on you. But this means there's going to be a lot of people at Fox News who are probably like, I'm already vaccinated. But I tell you this, will they be willing to stand up against this? Because I'll tell you this, I would. We've got people who work here who are vaccinated. Doesn't matter. We're not going to mandate it. If a mandate came in, they would be fine. I'm still not going to ask them for proof of vaccination either. Which brings me to the point here. If there is a host, if there is a producer, and they are vaccinated, they would still have to present proof of their medical status to the Fox Corporation, which they've already had to do. So it's almost a moot point. I mean, look, let me read a little bit more. They say the new policy is in keeping up with Bill de Blasio. I don't care what crackpot despot tells you to do it. If you do it, you are in line with a crackpot despot. The New York City mandate, which requires on-site workers at all businesses to be vaccinated in the country's most sweeping local vaccine mandate, and affects some 184,000 businesses. I wonder what would happen. I get invited on Fox News quite a bit. I wonder what would happen if I said, I'll come in person. Yeah. Uh-huh. What are you going to do? You ask me to fill a little card or like show proof of vaccination stuff? Ain't going to happen. Our policy reflects the guidelines of the mandate. A cowardly spokesman for the Fox Corporation said in an email Monday. More than 90% of Fox employees are vaccinated, the company said. Yes, because they implemented a mandate. Before, you had to get tested. That 10%. No, that 100%. I don't care if you are or aren't vaccinated. That's not even the point. The point is de Blasio does not have the legal authority to just wave his hands and mandate everyone be forced to undergo a medical procedure. Seriously, if you work at Fox News and you go along with this, I have no respect for you. New York is facing a surge of coronavirus cases on Friday. The state reported 21,027 new coronavirus cases, the highest single day total since early in the pandemic. New York's mandate for workplaces requires that recipients of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines receive a second dose. But the policy does not currently require booster shots. All right. Here's an article back from October on the 12th. Tucker Carlson makes a great point about Fox News' vaccination policy. If only such nuance were a feature of the criticisms of Biden's policy. They go on to mention that a Fox News host on Monday night offered a rare, if brief, commentary on his company's own vaccination policy, even as he and others continue to attack President Biden's similar policies. Oh, so many people were like, Tim, they don't have a vax mandate because there's an opt-out for testing. Get out of here with that. We're going to mandate you take a day out of your week to go get tested, spend the money on that, just so you can keep working? That's stupid. They write, after Biden announced his policy for businesses with more than 100 employees and Fox criticized it, along stricter vaccine mandates, critics of Fox News have responded by pointing to Fox News' own vaccine policy, which is quite similar to that of Biden. Among those critics, the president himself, who on multiple occasions likened his own policy to that of Fox News. But Biden overstepped last week, saying, this I always get a kick out of. Fox News. Fox News requires vaccination for all employees. Give me a break. Fox News. This is false. Oh, Biden lied. Yeah, it's false. Tucker Carlson correctly pointed out that on Monday night, after he played a clip of Biden, Carlson said, now to be clear, we just have a show on this channel. That's it. We don't run the company and we would never presume to speak for the company. As a factual matter, what Joe Biden just said is completely untrue. In fact, Fox News does not mandate vaccines. What it does mandate is either vaccination or daily testing. Daily. Yo, stop supporting these people. All right, here's what we're going to do. Every single one of you who has ever looked at a Fox News article or shared a Fox News article, stop. And here's what you can do. You can go to the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro's outlet, and share those articles. Why? Because Ben Shapiro and the crew at Daily Wire have stood firm on this. And in the event they ever capitulate and cave and say, okay, I guess we're going to mandate this, well, then you can rescind your support. But for the time being, I think the Daily Wire hits the nail on the head with the hammer. Ben Shapiro's vaccinated. Ben Shapiro thinks it's good that people get vaccinated. Ben Shapiro thinks you should not be forced to undergo a medical procedure. Ben Shapiro is correct. I don't care if you get the vaccine. I really don't. Do your thing. Talk to your doctor. Ben Shapiro did. I respect him for making the choice that he thought was right for him. But you know what he's saying? He's saying you shouldn't force people to do it. And he's not going to be that person at his company. Because I'll tell you, the banality of evil, it is not just de Blasio. Sure, he's a lunatic. But it is the people who are like, oh, the mayor said I have to? Okay, I'm going to enforce this. The guy who got arrested at Panera Bread. You know why? Because people at Panera Bread called the cops and then the cops enforced it. It is all up the chain. Look at this. To say Fox has shied away from talking about their company's policy. And Carlson didn't dwell on the point for more than a moment or even truly detail the policy. It's probably because Fox News policy is actually more stringent than the one Biden announced for large businesses. Amazing. It's a distinction that we've repeatedly argued for emphasizing. as many, including supporters, have described Biden's policy as a vaccine mandate. It is a vaccine mandate. Fox has had a vaccine mandate. Daily testing. You want to go to work? Wake up extra early, go to the clinic, spend money on a test, then you can go to work. Or just get the vaccine one time. Yeah, it's called coercion. And Fox News is trash. So I'll tell you this. I doubt they're listening, but anybody at Fox News at this point, any single one of these people booking, do not email me ever again. I'm not interested. To be completely honest, I haven't been accepting their offers in some time anyway. I thought to myself a while ago, what's the point of even going on this network? Now, look, a lot of these people, they're good people. I like them, sure. And what they do is they send out this van with like a broadcast, cellular bonding unit and a camera. And then I sit in this van and they have me on their show. It's great. I'm not going to go. I will not be doing anything with Fox News. Granted, it's been, I think, 6 or 7 times maybe in the past year or so. But they email me regularly trying to find, someone to fill slots. And I've been saying no for the past, few offers. But I'm just going to say no outright at this point. Don't even bother. Don't even bother. And I'll tell you this. Actually, you know what? No, I take that back. No, the next time I get an email, and this is for you, Fox, just so you know, go ahead and email me. Ask me to come on your show, and here's what I'll do. Whatever the segment is about, I'll bring up that you're spineless cowards with a vaccine mandate at your business who are refusing to stand up against tyranny. You're refusing to speak out against executives ruling by decree. So everything else that you guys talk about on your show is meaningless drivel. It is demand-driven garbage. You don't have principles. You are chasing the audience. But you know what's funny? They're not even siding with their audience. That was the thing that I experienced when I worked for that company Fusion, which the ABC Univision joint venture, where I was told by the president, you got to side with the audience on this one. I was like, okay, whatever. Basically means omit information and lie, or lie by omission. At least that's how I interpreted it. Fox News isn't even siding with their audience. They're outright being like, yeah, we know the audience doesn't like this stuff, but we don't care. We're going to have a vax mandate. So in that capacity, if they truly believe in it, oh, sure, I guess I can respect it if Fox News genuinely thinks it's the right thing to do. But it really just seems like they're going, okay, de Blasio, we'll do whatever you tell us because we're losers, whiny little babies who are going to cower in the face of some mayor. Truly, truly pathetic. And I want Tucker Carlson to speak out against it. But I'll tell you this. I do not believe that Tucker Carlson has the gall to actually do it. I'm a fan. I like Tucker Carlson's show. I think he's a good dude. But look what they mentioned in the Washington Post article. They say he only mentions it for a moment. Okay, far be it from me to take the word of the Washington Post. And I don't watch Tucker Carlson enough to know if he's railed on Fox News over their mandate. But I'd be willing to bet Tucker Carlson will not speak out against the vaccine mandate at Fox News. I'd be willing to bet he won't do it. Now, here we go. From timcast.com. Trump and O'Reilly get booed after telling audience they got booster shots. Former President Trump and conservative pundit Bill O'Reilly were met with boos after revealing to a live audience they were both fully vaccinated and had their booster shots. The duo has been engaged in a history tour, speaking to crowds across the nation. Trump and O'Reilly revealed their triple vaccinated status during the final stop in Dallas on Sunday. I don't mind. I don't care. I think, look, this is what I'll tell you. All right, let's play the other side. I think it's stupid to boo Donald Trump and Bill O'Reilly because they went to a doctor and they were like, what should I do, doc? And the doc was like, you're both really old people. Get the vaccine. And he was like, okay, that's it. I don't care what you choose to do. So, quote, both the president and I are vaxxed, O'Reilly said before turning to the former president and asking if he got the booster. Yes, Trump replied. I got it too, O'Reilly stated. And some in the crowd began to boo. Trump smiled and waved his arms, urging them to stop, saying that it was just a tiny group. Don't. That's all right. It's a very tiny group. During the historic tour, Trump had boasted about the vaccine being developed under his administration and touted its success, saying, look, we did something that was historic. We saved tens of millions of lives worldwide when we together, all of us, got a vaccine done. This was going to ravage the country far beyond what it is right now. Take credit for it. It's great. What we've done is historic. Don't let them take it away. I think Trump's right. I can say, however, that there are many high-profile left and Democrat personalities that seem to be getting sick despite claiming to have been triple vaxxed. And I'll tell you something really interesting. Early on, when all this was coming down, we had a lot of accusations that the establishment elites weren't actually getting the vaccine. There were videos going viral where it was like a syringe with no needle was like pressed against someone's arm. So people claimed, maybe you just couldn't see it in the video. And they were like, look, they're not actually getting the vaccine. There was one instance where like one nurse, I guess, took an empty syringe and stuck a person with it and then pretended to give them a shot, which was really weird because he like pulls the plunger up and pushes it down, which I don't think is a very good thing to do into someone's arm. But anyway, we saw a lot of videos like that, and people claimed, well, these people are faking getting the vaccine, which probably is what sowed a lot of distrust in the vaccine. I don't know if that's true, whatever. Some people claimed it was. I can tell you that when you see these stories, hey, maybe Donald Trump makes the vaccine, right? Makes the vaccine. He triggers Operation Warp Speed. He works really hard, and now he wants to take credit for it. Democrats were screaming they would never get the vaccine. They were like, I'm not getting that thing. You can't make me do it. Now they're all acting like it's the greatest thing. Do what Biden says. Daily Mail reports California Rep. Katie Hill says she's tested positive for COVID at 8 months pregnant despite being fully vaxxed and boosted. Really? So you've got Katie Hill, Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren, Jim Cramer. The list goes on. How many people have had breakthrough cases after being triple vaxxed? Keeps happening, doesn't it? So we're presented with two possible scenarios. Breakthrough cases are, well, I got to say, look, they said that even with 2 shots, breakthrough cases could occur. I looked up the data and it was like you had a 90% reduction in your likelihood of getting COVID and like a 90% reduction in the severity of COVID if you did get it. So it really did, according to data that had been released and was published in many different sources. It really does seem like, the vaccine reduces the severity. I don't know for sure. I don't want to argue the science because I can't. I really can't. I'm not an expert on this stuff. I don't know what data to consider and what not to consider. What I can say is there's the official narrative. You can choose to believe it or not. But let's play this game. If you've got Trump and he's the guy who did Operation Warp Speed and he wants credit for this so bad. He said it was going to be so much worse if we didn't get this vaccine out. He's also boosted and so is Bill O'Reilly. And then you have these high profile left Democrat personalities. And there was the big wave of them saying they would never get the vax. Isn't it possible that all the videos were correct? They were faking getting the vaccine because they don't like Trump, they don't trust Trump, and they don't want it? Could that be the case? Now, look, I don't know. I really don't. Why are so many high-profile individuals getting breakthrough cases, even with the booster? I got no idea, man. Don't ask me. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. What I can say is we were told that, we would reduce the likelihood of catching and the severity of COVID if you got the vaccine. It's not perfect. It's not a guaranteed, stoppage of anything. But then they said, like, even then get the booster to prevent this. So these are people who got vaccinated and boosted and still got a breakthrough case. Is it not simpler to say that these people who we know lie and lie all the time lied about getting the vaccine? Is it entirely possible they were virtue signaling? They never cared to get it. They weren't worried about getting it. Because I'll put it this way. I feel like these people, they're sitting in their office. We all know the mortality rates. We all know the severity, we all that stuff. And the ultra rich elites are probably just like, I don't got to do anything. I can do whatever I want. But they're liars, right? So they need to virtue signal to their base. So they come out and say, I got it. Everyone can do it. And then they get sick. And you're like, the problem is them getting sick makes people feel like the vaccine doesn't work. Isn't it much easier to believe that Katie Hill and Cory Booker and Elizabeth Warren, they're sociopathic hypocrites, they're evil sociopaths who are lying to you to get your support, to trick you into believing that they're on your side when in reality, they're not. They don't believe the things they say. I mean, look at Eric Swalwell. Well, actually, here's a good example. I mean, Ilhan Omar can come out and crop dust anti-Semitism. What do I mean by that is like she gets really close to making these statements, but they're not overt. And what do they say in Congress? We condemn all bigotry. Then you get Steve King, who says one dumb thing, and he's purged from everything. He even loses re-election. You've got Eric Swalwell banging a spy, presumably, or I should say reportedly. And this guy faces no repercussions. But you get, Lauren Boebert making a joke. She immediately apologized. Oh, I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have said it. And they threaten her. Yeah, we know where the real, power lies. So I'm going to tell you this. One side, for the most part, are lying, manipulative, I don't know, despots, crackpots, whatever you want to call it, isn't it easier to believe they're just lying to you about getting vaccinated? Because wealthy elites feel like they can do whatever they want and they don't have to do what you say. Otherwise, the alternative is what? Only like all of these high profile people are getting breakthrough cases. I mean, New York City broke a record in COVID cases. We're seeing over and over again people saying that they're getting breakthrough cases. Yo, I think it's just easier to believe that the establishment elites are lying about everything. Otherwise, what's the alternative? Trump is wrong? Sure. Okay. Pick one. Trump is wrong and taking credit for the vaccine is bad, or Trump is right and the Democrats lied. I don't know what to tell you, man. I really don't. But I will tell you one thing. The fact that people boo Donald Trump shows it ain't a cult. They booed him more than once. It's happened before. Trump is the avatar of their anger, but he's not the end-all be-all. For now, I'll just say this. Will Tucker Carlson come out and speak out against vaccine mandates, or is he just blown smoke? Yo, I don't think you're going to get anything from Fox News, so I'll tell you this. We here at Timcast, like I said, I ain't playing that game ever. But you don't gotta like us. Go to the Daily Wire. Because they stayed true the whole way through. They filed lawsuits. They're doing, they're fighting the good fight. My respect to them. You should be giving your support to the Daily Wire, not Fox News. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 1 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you all then.